Yes, the sprinkle cookies, but she told all of her friends that were coming in that were a part of the show, do
Uh,
not talk to Melissa on camera.
oh,
Do not engage. Like while the
interesting.
cameras are here, we're not talking to them on camera.
I want you to breathe. I want you to breathe. I want you to breathe.
Hello, friends. We're back. We're Black and Curious. I'm Kendrin.
What up? It's Deja.
And if you've never been here before, welcome. We do a cross section between pop culture and real life. And today we're talking Housewives of New Jersey. Ooh, it's been a hot mess already, and the season is just getting warmed up. Um, Specifically, we're talking about the relationship between Melissa and Teresa, which has always been fraught, if we're being honest. From season one or season, when did Melissa come on, 2 or 3? One of
I
those.
think it was 3.
Was it 3? Okay.
Because
It's
that's
been
when
fraught.
Dina left. So they
And
brought
it
in
seems
Elias.
to me that Teresa is finally, I mean, you can say it's because of Louis or whatever, but it seems like Teresa has finally had enough. And she is not doing any more of the placating of Melissa. She's not even trying anymore. She does feel a little bit unjustified, in my opinion, that Melissa hasn't been loyal to her. Um, but I don't know. It just seems like they never really got along that well. Um, and so now they're just done playing games about it. They're just like, look, no, you're not invited to be at my wedding. You can
You can
come to the
come.
ceremony, but you being my sister-in-law don't got nothing to do with my bridal party. Like, y'all come, y'all have a good time, but I don't have to do that with you anymore.
The
And
thing that I
just
don't understand is like y'all don't even like each other for real. So why would you
they
want to
don't.
be in the wedding party? Like make it make
They
sense.
don't.
You bitching about something that you don't like her for real.
No, they don't. They
You
don't.
just
They
want to
don't
be
like each other.
seen. But
Mm-mm.
like it's giving you just want to be seen. You just want a title of importance, and you're not. Clearly, it ain't never been like that. So like, why are we going through this tug of war of foolishness? I don't understand
Mm.
it.
Mm.
Um,
I know
the
you said
thing,
you watched Carlos King, a
yeah.
couple of interviews where he was talking through he talked to Teresa and also to Jacqueline. I didn't watch them, so maybe you can chat a little more about
So
those.
the thing that I found interesting in watching that, and like freaking decades later at this point, it seems like finally the truth is coming out. But while I understand back in the day when all of this was happening between the beginnings of it, between Teresa and her family, they really weren't breaking that fourth wall. So like the producers
Mm-hmm.
could never speak to what was happening. But at that time, Carlos wasn't even a part of the producing team when all this was happening. So he just basically he has a conversation with Teresa and her podcast partner. I think their show is Namaste Bitches or something like that.
Yeah. For a
Uh,
bit of context, Carlos King was a
he was a
producer on
producer for that
Housewives of New
show. Yeah,
Jersey. Yeah,
the
for
first
the
2
first
seasons.
few seasons. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. So he has an inside track to these ladies and kind of knows the inside scoop on what was going on.
Yeah, and he basically just kind of confirmed that like Melissa had been reaching out. He was the producer that Teresa always talks about that Melissa was reaching out to get onto this show.
Mm,
They also said that Melissa was the one and see, I haven't watched New Jersey in a while, so like
mm,
I'm starting back this season. But apparently Melissa was the one that was giving all that tea to Danielle for the previous seasons,
mm.
like the early seasons. All the drama about how Teresa didn't
Interesting.
go to the like the birthing of the nephew or like all this other
Mm,
stuff. All of that came out of Melissa's mouth to Danielle. And I'm like, yo, that's crazy. And so basically it just was they made the picture clearer that they were trying so badly, the Gorgas were trying so badly to get on this show, and they were pissed off that in the previous seasons that Teresa didn't censure them in any of
mm,
the like family stuff that she did, like when they would be around. She even Jacqueline said in the other interview, which was separate of the one with Teresa,
mm-hmm.
that
This is Jacqueline Lorita.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Jacqueline said that Teresa would tell her like for their holiday parties. Because remember back in the early seasons, like that was a big thing for the Giudices. They would have like a holiday party with their family and all that stuff.
The
She
sugar
was
cookies. Remember the, did you?
yes, the sprinkle cookies, but she told all of her friends that were coming in that were a part of the show, do
Uh,
not talk to Melissa on camera.
oh,
Do not engage. Like while the
Interesting.
cameras are here, we're not talking to them on camera. So I'm like, all this stuff is happening. I never like for me, it was always like, why don't you just say what the thing is, as opposed
Right.
to like it's all this beef. And the of course the producing team is gonna pick up on the beef and like poke at that.
Of
And
course.
like now, 10 years later, we're getting confirmation that Teresa was not lying. So
Yeah.
like she looks crazy and mean and all this other stuff, but like this whole time, this is what was happening by her own family. I'm like, damn, that is crazy. That is what this. If y'all don't, I'll try to make sure I link the conversation between Carlos and Teresa and Carlos and Jacqueline in our description box so that you guys can watch it. But like getting the backstories to this like long history, like decade long feud between
Mm-hmm.
Melissa and her and Melissa and Teresa, like I'm more on the side of Teresa now, because they
Yeah.
also said that I don't remember if it was Carlos or if it was Teresa, but they said that the scene where at the christening, or it was something that was happening where
Mm-hmm.
the Gorgas were first on the show,
Yeah.
and her brother had like that huge like blow up fight like reaction with the
Mm-hmm.
parents and was going off. Basically, they said that he did all of that because he wanted to have a moment like Teresa did at the table when she flipped the table in like the first season.
Prostitution whore.
Yeah, so they like did all of that because they were trying to make sure they cemented them getting onto the show. And I'm like, that is fucked up.
That's
Like
crazy.
you really
That's
wanted
wild.
to, and I get like husbands, if you really love your wife, you're gonna do anything for her to get what it is that she wants.
Yeah, but
But
like
like against your
even with your
own
only
sister,
sister,
like
with your
damn.
parents around is like that doesn't seem maybe like the way. Um, but hey, who am
And
I?
matter of fact, now it just jogged a memory. I want to say that the mom never told Teresa this. This was told to Carlos through
Hmm.
like one of the cousins. The
Okay.
mom said it to the cousin, and the cousin said it to Carlos. Like that happened because dot dot dot. This was the
Hmm.
mom's opinion that he did all of this so he could get up onto the show.
Okay. Okay.
Because Teresa was
Well,
like, really? Like, yeah, that conversation, the interview that they had was a really, really good one. So I'll be interested
yeah.
to see if I doubt very seriously that the Gorgas are gonna go on to Carlos's show, but like at
No.
this point, it's like go defend yourself if that's not what the story is, because that's what you've been saying for over a decade.
Yeah.
Get up there and tell them what it is.
Yeah. We had a previous conversation about family members being on Bravo, and I don't tend to care for watching these beefs play out publicly, but
It's
I do.
bad.
I am happy to see these women standing up in their truth finally, because I feel
Yeah.
like because of Joe, because Teresa was at the mercy of Joe Giudice, and with the prison sentences and all of this stuff, like I felt like maybe that kept them maybe a little more in contact. But now that she's moving on and she has like her new husband and she has new sister-in-laws, she's kind of like, I don't have
That's
to do
it.
this with y'all. I don't have to do this with y'all.
And I'm
We
not.
don't get along like that. I would never exclude you, but I'm not going to go out of my way to have you front and center taking over my day
No.
anymore. And so that's what it seems like is happening. And that happens honestly with a lot of people as you get older.
Mm-hmm.
You just see shit for what it is, and you put people in their proper places. And that's what it seems like Teresa is sort of doing here with Melissa and Joe.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie to you. As like a very or like I was down in the gutters with the Jersey cast, like
Mm-hmm.
to now get all this backstory like a decade later, like yeah, okay, it's tea, but it's so frustrating because I'm like, damn, if we knew this stuff early
Yeah.
on, like I feel like Teresa's experience may not have been so difficult on this show,
Yeah.
like.
Maybe.
Because remember, like for a moment, she was constantly in the tabloids and like in the newspapers, people constantly
Yeah.
talking about her. There was constantly stories being spread about her, and like people dragging her through the mud because they were alleging that she was treating her sister and brother so horribly, her sister-in-law and her brother so horribly, and like you're not a family player and all this kind of foolishness. But like when you have family doing this kind of stuff to you, like I could see why she acted that way. The other thing that
Yeah.
I found funny too was that even Jacqueline was just kind of like, that you should have just outed them and had like this, because the producers were asking her to do this.
Yeah.
Outed them and had this huge conversation. She was like, no, no, no. And so like Jacqueline was like, it was crazy because she just decided to, at that christening event, walk over to them like everything was fine, like all this stuff was not happening, and just be like, hi guys, how are you? And like everybody was like, what? And so it looked awkward on camera because it was.
And so that's probably why, you know, Teresa has been in the last few seasons, like talking about family loyalty and stuff, because she was loyal to them and didn't out them in the way that
Yeah.
perhaps that they deserve. So it's like,
Yeah,
I
and
did
the
it
way
for
they
you. So
outed
like,
her.
back me up, damn it. Like, so that makes a lot more sense, because sometimes Teresa be
Doing a lot.
doing the most for me. I'm just so sorry. Like, I'm not a Teresa stan. This is not a Teresa stan account over here at all. So, you know, it does put a lot more into context to see, you know, these conversations finally coming up to be like, hey, no, there was a lot going on behind the scenes, and they were being, you know, kind of messy and scammy behind the scenes.
Girl. Like
So,
I have a newfound perspective for them now. So I'm just
yeah.
kind of like, I'm interested to see really what the reunion is finna look like, because these conversations are being had.
Yeah.
I don't know if they are still filming or if they're like toward the end of filming this season and then the reunion is gonna come.
Well, you know, they usually film the reunion closer to real time. So the season is in the middle, I think, or kind of early middle. So
Mhm.
by the time they filmed the reunion, they haven't filmed a reunion yet. So by the time they film the reunion, all of these conversations will have been had in public and all of that stuff. So I'm sure Andy's probably going to be, you know, bringing that stuff up, even though I don't know, because he brought up reasonably shady on the Housewives of Potomac interview, but I don't know if he's going to bring up Carlos's podcast. I don't know if he would do that on the.
I can't imagine that he like, if he doesn't, I feel like if they do the cue cards, the
Maybe.
people that watch might bring it
Yeah.
up, and if they don't, then somebody, I can't see Melissa and Joe not bringing this up.
Or they'll just say you were in the press saying ...
Yeah,
They won't
yeah,
bring them up by name. They'll just be like, oh, you were saying such and such in the press.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, well, if you guys are watching New Jersey, drop down in the comments. Let us know what you think about Teresa and Melissa and how their relationship is evolving, i.e., continuing to be a hot ass mess.
Child
or devolving, dissolving. Drop down in the comments. Let us know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll be back next time.
Hey, friends.
Bye.